Look, let me ask you something kind of personal. Have you ever noticed how you can want something so badly? I mean, you are losing sleep over it. You are writing it down in your journal every single morning. You are visualizing it until your brain hurts. But deep down, there is this tiny, quiet knot in your stomach that is already bracing for it not to happen. Yeah, that right there is why you're stuck. That little knot is the operating system. And I'm telling you guys, reality does not care about your vision board. It doesn't care about your tears. Reality is not listening to what you want. It is listening to what you expect. And those are two completely different languages. What is up, folks? It's Muhammad here. Welcome back to Galaxy Gestalt. I'm actually really hyped to talk about this today because this specific concept, this distinction between wanting and expecting, was probably the hardest pill I ever had to swallow. It's annoying, honestly. It's annoying because it means you can't fake it. You can't hustle your way around your own vibration. But here is the good news. Once you click this into place, once you understand how to shift your baseline expectation, the heavy lifting just stops. It stops. So stick with me on this one. If you stay till the end, I'm going to break down exactly how to trick your brain, and I mean literally trick it into expecting the big things just as naturally as you expect the sun to come up. It's a game changer, and I don't say that lightly. By the way, before we really get into the weeds here, if you want to go deeper into actually reprogramming that subconscious mind we're talking about, I've put together a free ebook called The Magic of Affirmations. It's not just the usual fluff, it's about the mechanics of this stuff. It's linked right down in the description, so grab that if you haven't yet. It's a good companion to what we're talking about today. All right, let's get into it. So here is the problem with wanting. We are taught that desire is the fuel, right? We're told you gotta want it bad enough. And sure, desire is the spark. You need the spark to start the engine. But you cannot drive the car on spark alone. The problem with wanting is that, energetically speaking, wanting is a statement of absence. Think about it. You only want what you do not have. If you are holding a cup of coffee in your hand, you don't stand there saying, I really want a cup of coffee. You just drink it. You have it. The experience of having is calm. It's neutral. The experience of wanting is agitated. It's loud. And here is where it gets tricky. Your subconscious mind, it's a faithful servant, but it's kind of literal. When you spend all day vibrating with the energy of, I want this, I need this, please give me this, your reality simply mirrors that state back to you. It says, okay, you are the person who wants the thing. I will keep you in the state of wanting the thing. It's frustrating, right? It gives you exactly what you are embodying, which is the lack of it. Now, expectation is different. Expectation is dangerous in a good way. Expectation is when you walk into a room and you flip the light switch. You don't stand there praying for the light to turn on. You don't visualize the electricity flowing through the wires. You don't do a light switch affirmation. You just flip the switch. You expect the light. And if the light didn't turn on, you'd be shocked. You'd be like, whoa, what's wrong? That is the level of certainty reality responds to. But here's the catch, and this is why most people fail at this. You cannot just logically tell yourself to expect something that your emotional body doesn't believe is possible, you know? You can't just stand in front of the mirror and say, I expect $1 million, when your stomach turns over every time you look at your banking app. That's lying. Reality knows you're lying. You can't con the universe, folks. So, why do we expect what we expect? This is the deep part. Expectation is not a thought. It is a groove in your nervous system. It is a pattern of emotional memory. Basically, your brain is a prediction machine. That is its main job, survival through prediction. It looks at your past, your childhood, your traumas, your last 3 relationships, your last 5 years of financial struggles, and it creates a model. It says, okay, based on the data, this is what is likely to happen next. And then, get this, it actually filters your perception to prove itself right. This is the Reticular Activating System, or the RAS. If you expect people to be mean to you, your brain will literally highlight the one person frowning in a crowd of smiling faces. You will see rejection because you are looking for the pattern of rejection. You're expecting it. And because you're looking for it, you react to it. And because you react to it, you create more of it. It is a self-fulfilling prophecy, but it's happening so fast you don't even see it. So when I say reality responds to what you expect, I'm saying reality responds to your identity. Your identity is just a bundle of crystallized expectations. I am the kind of person who struggles. I am the kind of person who always gets their heart broken. I am the kind of person who has to work twice as hard to get half as much. Those aren't facts. Those are expectations masquerading as facts. I see this all the time with people trying to manifest money. They do the work, right? They meditate, they script, but watch their body language when a bill comes in. Watch the micro expressions. There is a flinch. There is a tightness. That tightness is the expectation. That tightness is saying, I expect this to be hard. I expect resources to be scarce. And reality says, copy that, scarce it is. Or look at relationships. You meet someone new. They're great. But if your baseline expectation, your normal, is abandonment or drama, you will unconsciously start scanning for signs of it. You'll interpret a delayed text message as a sign they're losing interest. You'll get anxious. You'll start acting weird and clingy because you're trying to prevent the thing you expect to happen. And what does that do? It pushes them away. And then you say, see, I knew it. It always happens. No, it didn't just happen. You expected it into existence. You commanded it with your fear. And look, I'm not saying this to blame anyone. God knows I've done this. I used to be the king of expecting the worst while hoping for the best. I thought I was being realistic. I thought I was protecting myself from disappointment. That's what we tell ourselves, right? I'll just lower my expectations so I don't get hurt. But that is a trap. When you lower your expectations to avoid pain, you are literally instructing reality to deliver mediocrity. You are signing a contract with the universe that says, I am okay with less. And the universe is very obliging. So how do we shift this? Because that's the million-dollar question. If expectation is subconscious, if it's based on the past, how do we change it without waiting for the evidence to change first? Because that's the paradox. You want to see the evidence so you can expect it, but you have to expect it to see the evidence.
You have to understand that expectation is really just a form of normalizing. That's the word I want you to hold on to. Normalizing. The things you have in your life right now, your shoes, your bed, your friends, your current income, you have them because they feel normal to you. They fit your frequency. You don't hyperventilate about having a bed to sleep in, you just assume it's there. To get something you've never had, you have to make it feel normal before it arrives. And you don't do that by hyping yourself up. You don't do that by jumping around and screaming, I'm a millionaire! I mean, you can, but usually that just highlights how much you aren't one. The nervous system knows the difference between excitement and truth. Excitement is unstable. Truth is calm. Real expectation feels boring. Yeah, I said it. It feels boring. It feels like, of course that's going to happen. Why wouldn't it? Think about ordering something from Amazon. You press the button, you see the confirmation. Do you sit by the door for 3 days, shaking with anxiety, wondering if it's coming? Do you call Amazon customer service every hour crying, please send my package? No, you go about your life. You might even forget you ordered it until it shows up. That is the energy of expectation. It is a done deal. It is a collapsed timeline. You need to reach that state with your desires. You need to move from, oh my God, it would be amazing if this happened, to, it's just a matter of time.
One way to do this, and this is a technique I use all the time, is to look at the areas of your life where you already have high expectations and borrow that feeling. Like, you expect your best friend to pick up the phone when you call. You expect hot water to come out of the shower. Notice that sensation. It's not heavy. It's light. It's assumed. Now take that same feeling and apply it to the thing you're chasing. If you're chasing a promotion, stop putting it on a pedestal. Pedestals create distance. If something is up on a pedestal, you are down on the ground looking up at it. You can't reach it. Take it off the pedestal. Make it normal. Tell yourself, it's totally normal for someone with my skills to get promoted. It happens every day. It's not a miracle, it's just logistics. See what I did there? I took the miracle energy out of it. When you treat your desires like miracles, you are telling your subconscious that they are rare, that they are unlikely, that they are exceptions to the rule, but you want them to be the rule. Let's talk about money again, because it's the easiest example. If you treat money like this sacred, scarce resource that you have to fight for, you will always be fighting. But if you start to view money as just a utility, just energy, something that circulates, something that is naturally attracted to value, the grip loosens. You stop bracing for the bill. You pay the bill with gratitude because you expect more money is coming. It's a subtle shift, but it changes the signal you're broadcasting. And I know some of you are thinking, Mohammed, that sounds delusional. My reality is harsh right now. I can't just pretend to expect good things. I get it. I really do. But look at the alternative. If you continue to expect the harshness, you guarantee the harshness. You are the projector. You can't change the movie by yelling at the screen. You have to change the film reel. And the film reel is your expectation. You have to be willing to be delusional for a little bit, but it's not really delusion. It's pre-paving. It's deciding that your internal authority is stronger than the external circumstances. It's saying, I respect what I see with my eyes, but I trust what I know in my gut. And you have to stop seeking validation from the outside world before you've established the expectation inside. This is where people mess up. They start a new business, they don't get a sale in the first week, and they immediately crash. Oh, it's not working. I knew it wouldn't work. Boom. You just solidified the expectation of failure. The person who succeeds is the one who doesn't get the sale in the first week and says, that's weird. The sales are definitely coming. Maybe the system is just buffering. They maintain the expectation of success despite the temporary evidence. They don't let the 3D world dictate their internal state. They force the 3D world to catch up to them. It's about authority. Who is in charge here? Your past or you? When you expect something, you give yourself permission to receive it. That's another huge piece of this puzzle. Permission. A lot of us, we want things, but we don't actually feel allowed to have them. We feel guilty. We feel like we haven't suffered enough to earn them. And if you don't feel allowed to have it, you will unconsciously push it away even if it drops in your lap. You'll sabotage it. Expectation bypasses that. When you expect something, it means you believe it belongs to you. You don't feel guilty about breathing air, do you? You don't feel like you're taking someone else's air. You expect it to be there. You deserve it because you exist. You need to get to that point with your desires. You need to feel that receiving abundance, love, health, it's just part of your natural habitat. It's not a reward for good behavior. It's just what happens. I want you to try something for the next few days. Pick one thing, just one. Maybe it's finding a parking spot. Maybe it's getting a free cup of coffee. Maybe it's a specific amount of money. And instead of trying to manifest it, just assume it's done. Just play a game with yourself. Say, I wonder how this is going to show up. Not if, how. The if is the killer. The if introduces doubt. The how implies certainty. I wonder how my life is going to change now that I'm wealthy. I wonder how I'm going to meet my partner. You see the difference? You're skipping the doubt phase and moving straight to the logistics of arrival. And when the negative thoughts come up, because they will, folks, the old programming doesn't die without a fight. When the voice says, "Who are you kidding? This isn't going to happen," don't fight it. Don't get angry. Just look at that thought and say, "Oh, that's just an old expectation. That's the old me. We don't do that anymore." Treat it like an old pair of shoes that doesn't fit. You don't get mad at the shoes, you just don't wear them. The more you do this, the more you start to see reality bending. It's spooky when it starts happening. You'll think of someone and they'll text you. You'll worry about a bill and a refund check appears. We call them coincidences, but they aren't coincidences. They are specific responses to your specific expectations. You are training the universe how to treat you every single second. If you walk with your head down, expecting to be ignored, the world will ignore you. If you walk with your head up, expecting to be seen, the world will see you. It's not magic, it's mechanics, it's energetic physics. You know, I think the biggest tragedy is that people live their whole lives begging for scraps from a table that they actually own. You own the table, you own the kitchen, but you're sitting on the floor waiting for a crumb to fall. Stand up, sit at the table, expect to be fed. It's a practice, though. I don't want to lie to you and say you'll listen to this video and wake up tomorrow completely changed. It takes repetition. It takes catching yourself in the act of waiting and shifting into having. It takes catching yourself in the act of dread and shifting into neutrality. But the payoff? The payoff is freedom. It's the freedom of walking through life knowing that you are not a victim of circumstance. You are the architect of circumstance. And listen, like I mentioned earlier, if you are feeling a bit overwhelmed by how to actually stick to this mental diet, check out that ebook, The Magic of Affirmations, in the description. It's a tool. Use it. It helps you structure this stuff so you aren't just winging it. But even if you don't get the book, just take this one thing with you today. Stop checking for results. When you plant a seed, you don't dig it up every 10 minutes to see if it's growing. You expect it to grow. You water it, you give it light, and you leave it alone. You trust the process of nature. Trust the process of your own mind. Reality is slow sometimes. It's dense. It takes a minute to catch up to your new frequency. That's the buffer time. Don't let the buffer time fool you into thinking it's not working. It is working. It's rearranging the furniture while you sleep. So relax. Seriously. Take a breath. Stop wanting it so hard. You're choking it. Let go of the desperate grip. Assume it's yours. Assume it's inevitable. When you stop chasing, you stop running away. And when you stop running, what you want can finally catch up to you. All right, folks, that's it for today. Thanks for being here. Whether you like or subscribe, totally your call. Just remember, reality doesn't argue with you. It agrees with what you expect. And once you really get that, everything starts changing. Peace.